It always starts small. A look, a pause, the kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville know this all too well. For years, they've watched Carlos King, the mastermind behind the show, carefully steer conversations, redirect questions, and dodge the kind of truths that could blow the entire franchise wide open. But this time, he didn't dodge. He didn't laugh it off. He didn't change the subject. Instead, Carlos King let something slip, something fans had been whispering about for years, and once the words left his mouth, everything changed. Because now, we're not just talking about messy reality TV drama. We're talking about files, evidence, and whispers of an FBI investigation circling around Marsau and LaTisha Scott. And the more you dig into it, the scarier it gets. Marsau and LaTisha have always carried themselves like Huntsville royalty. The polished couple with big dreams, luxury cars, and business ventures that were supposed to prove their legacy was bigger than just reality TV. To the outside world, they looked like the definition of success. A family empire being built brick by brick. LaTisha stood tall as the supportive wife, the one who always clapped back when castmates dared to question her man. Marsau? He played the part of the sharp businessman, the witty one-liner king, a man too smart to ever get caught slipping. But if you've been watching closely, you know their story always had cracks. Business deals that didn't add up. Contractors who whispered about late payments. Lawsuits that seemed to come out of nowhere and then quietly disappear. Fans brushed it off as typical reality show mess until now. Because when Carlos King, the man who created the show, finally admitted there's real evidence, not rumors, not speculation, but evidence tied to Marsau and LaTisha, everything the Scotts built suddenly looks like it's standing on shaky ground. Here's the thing about reality TV, it always blurs the line between entertainment and truth. For years, the Scotts leaned into that blur. They gave enough drama to stay relevant but always kept the dirtiest details off camera. Or so they thought. But Carlos has been in those rooms. He's seen the uncut arguments, the receipts fans never got to see, and the conversations that were too dangerous to air. And when he finally hinted that there are secret files connected to actual criminal evidence, fans went into overdrive. Because if Carlos is saying it, you better believe there's something real behind it. Let's rewind for a moment. The Scotts' reputation didn't start with controversy. They built their image as the hardworking, family-oriented couple who wanted to inspire others. LaTisha presented herself as a strong black woman balancing motherhood, marriage, and business. Marsau played the ambitious builder, the man who wanted to create generational wealth. It sounded good. It looked good. But the deeper fans looked, the more contradictions popped up. Unfinished projects, complaints about shady contracts, whispers of mismanaged money, things that seemed small at first but kept piling up. And every time a castmate tried to bring it up, LaTisha would shut it down with fierce loyalty. She wasn't just defending her husband, she was defending the entire image they worked so hard to protect. But what if that image was never real? What if it was all a cover? Here's where the story takes a darker turn. Because insiders are now whispering that the Scotts' issues go far beyond TV drama. We're talking about financial documents, questionable contracts, and potential fraud that might have attracted the attention of federal investigators. And guess who's holding the receipts? Carlos King. Think about it. As the creator of the show, Carlos has access to everything. He's seen the raw footage, the deleted scenes, the unfiltered truth the public never got to see. And now he's confirming what bloggers and fans have been hinting at for years. There are files that tie directly to Marsau and LaTisha. Files that could change everything. The internet wasted no time connecting the dots. Old court records resurfaced. Business deals that Marsau signed are being picked apart. Bloggers who were once dismissed as messy are suddenly looking like the real detectives. And fans are realizing the drama on screen might just be the tip of the iceberg. One old lawsuit, for example, points to contractors who claimed they were left unpaid after completing projects for Marsau's company. At the time, people brushed it off as small-town drama. But now? It looks like a piece of a much bigger puzzle. Another red flag? Business contracts missing crucial pages, suspicious clauses buried in the fine print, and sudden terminations with no explanation. This isn't just sloppy paperwork. This is the kind of thing investigators look at when building a case. And here's the twist nobody saw coming: LaTisha might not be as innocent as she seems. For years, she's played the role of the loyal wife who had no idea what was really going on. But according to whispers Carlos has let slip, LaTisha wasn't completely in the dark. She may not have known everything, but she allegedly knew enough to raise eyebrows. And instead of distancing herself, she doubled down. She chose to defend, to protect, and to keep the brand alive. That decision might be the very thing that costs her everything. Because in the court of public opinion, silence is complicity. And fans are already turning against her. Social media exploded the second Carlos dropped his bombshell. Hashtags like Scott's exposed and Carlos confirmed started trending. Old clips resurfaced where Marsau laughed off tough questions or where LaTisha shut down conversations that were getting too close to the truth. Suddenly, those moments don't look like harmless TV anymore, they look like cover-ups. And while fans are dissecting every smirk and side eye, Marsau has gone completely silent. No new posts. No clapbacks. No jokes. For a man who never missed a chance to shade his castmates online, the silence is deafening. People are asking, did he lawyer up? Is he hiding from the cameras? Or is he just waiting for the storm to pass? But here's the thing: this storm isn't passing. Not with the FBI allegedly sniffing around. Not with Carlos confirming there are files. And definitely not with fans digging deeper than ever before. Former employees are even coming forward. One claimed they were pressured to lie on invoices and threatened when they refused. Another said they were owed thousands of dollars but never saw a dime. At first, those stories sounded like gossip. Now, they sound like puzzle pieces fitting into a much bigger, much darker picture. And the scariest part? This isn't just about shady business anymore. This could be legal. Serious legal. We're talking investigations, lawsuits, and maybe even charges. If that happens, the Scott's empire doesn't just crumble, it implodes. The emotional impact of all this is heavy. For fans who spent years rooting for Marsau and LaTisha, this feels like betrayal. People believed in their story. They wanted to see a black couple succeed, build wealth, and show that reality TV could be more than just drama. To find out that behind the glitz, there may have been lies, scams, and manipulation, it cuts deep. LaTisha, especially, is taking the hardest hit. She built her brand on empowerment, loyalty, and standing tall in the face of adversity. Now, fans are questioning if that empowerment was real or just another layer of disguise. As for Marsau, the once confident businessman is looking more and more like a man cornered. And cornered men don't always play fair. So where does this leave us? If the FBI really is digging, it means the Scott's future is hanging in the balance. Their businesses, their marriage, their public image, everything is on the line. Carlos King may not have spilled every detail, but the fact that he confirmed there's criminal evidence is enough to shift the ground beneath their feet. Reality TV thrives on drama, but this isn't just drama anymore. This is real. And once the truth starts spilling out, there's no putting it back in the box. Because let's be honest, the Scotts built their empire on perception. But perception can only protect you for so long. And when receipts start turning into evidence, perception means nothing. What happens next? That's the million-dollar question. Will the Scotts fight to clear their names? Or will the empire they built crumble under the weight of secrets finally coming to light? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And as Carlos King just reminded us, the truth always finds its way out. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about Marsau and LaTisha. It's about how far people will go to protect an image, even when the truth is clawing its way to the surface. For years, the Scotts told fans they were building something solid, something that would last for generations. But now, those foundations look like they're cracking under the weight of secrets too heavy to carry. Carlos King didn't have to speak up, but he did. And with those few words, he shifted the entire conversation. Because once the man who created the show admits there's real evidence, there's no going back. The Scotts can stay silent, they can deny, they can even try to spin it, but the questions won't stop, and neither will the digging. And maybe that's the lesson here. Fame can shine a light, but it can also expose shadows. And when the cameras stop rolling, when the edits are gone, what's left is the truth. So, as the FBI allegedly circles and the whispers grow louder, the Scotts stand at a crossroads. Will they come clean, or will the truth come out without them? One way or another, it always does.